Hello everyone, welcome to the course, Tourism Culture in Yunnan. Today, we will be taking a tour of a natural geothermal museum. Have you ever heard of sea in Yunnan whose water can be used to cure disease? Some of you are no doubt thinking that the water in springs can have such effects. This is indeed true. But why in this case do we use the word sea instead of springs? And how is this sea different from any other sea or spring we have seen? For starters, the water not only has medicinal effects, but can be directly used to boil foods without any other heat source. Can this be true? The tourist hot sea I'm going to introduce today is neither a mere spring nor a smooth sea upon which one might enjoy a day's sailing. What, then, is this hot sea? Pay attention through the tour, and you may discover things to delight each of your 5 senses. Firstly, what can you see? Numerous springs scatter around the mountain in such numbers as to appear a veritable sea. Due to its wide variety of springs, Tengchong is known as one of the 3 geothermal regions in China, with the others being found in Tibet and Taiwan. The spring in the hot sea scenic area varied in size, shape, and temperature. The largest is 6.12 meters wide and 1.5 meters deep, while the smallest is no bigger than a pearl. Geological processes involving volcanic activity have led to the formation of springs in a diverse variety of shapes. Some springs are named after legendary beings, while several springs are named for their shape. For example, the frog mouth, the lion head, and spectacle spring. The springs in this place vary wildly in their temperatures. There are more than 10 springs with temperatures above 90 degrees centigrade. The deepest point of one of these reaches a scalding 102 degrees centigrade. For this reason, this spring, found at the top of the mountain and regarded as the heart of the hot sea area, is known as the Big Boiling Pot. Can you imagine what would happen if a living creature were to fall in? It is said that a bull was gazing on the slope by the Big Boiling Pot when it slipped and fell into the spring. Immediately, the high temperature caused its flesh to separate from its skeleton. When the owner came to the Big Boiling Pot in search of his bull, he found only bones. Springs with high temperatures are nature's cooking pot. Near the Big Boiling Pot are a few troughs, where people can make use of the heat to steam rice, eggs, potatoes, and peanuts. As the heat of the myriad springs rises up from the river and the earth, the whole scenic area is shrouded in vapor and mist. What can you smell and feel? There are several kinds of geothermal features: fumaroles, steaming surfaces, boiling springs, fountains, hot water centers, hydrogeothermal outbreaks, and poisonous gas pores. In addition, the spring of hot water and vapor contain various microelements. Although the materials emit a distinctive odor, they have curative effects on diseases and skin afflictions. Some springs with temperatures of around 40 degrees centigrade, unlike the springs with higher temperature, are not only safe to touch, but can be used for bathing. The Bath Valley, the center of bathing resorts, was first built in 2001, and after several expansions, now covers an area of 8,360 square meters. The construction of the valley was tailored to the shape of the surrounding mountain ranges, reflecting the traditional Chinese belief of harmony between man and nature. It contains 22 basin ponds, comprising 10 unique mineral ponds, 7 ponds infused with different blends of traditional Chinese herb medicines, and 5 other special ponds. The temperature of each pond is computer-controlled. Another pond for bathing is a beauty pond, which lies at the foot of the mountain. The hot water running from the top of the mountain cools as it flows down to the valley and into these ponds, making the temperature just right for bathing. An ancient legend tells of a group of celestial fairies so mesmerized by the splendid scenery of the hot sea that they could not but pay a visit. Seeing the crystalline pond, they decided to take a bath here. The sheer comfort of bathing in the steaming water caused them to forget all worries and troubles. From then on, the fairies frequently came to this place, hence the name. Finally, what can you hear? Do you hear the loud sound coming from the springs? What is its cause? Walking along a zigzag path from the entrance to the scenic area, the first thing that comes into one's sight is a waterfall. It is 10 meters in height and 5 meters in width. The roaring waterfall, along with the jet of water from the springs, produces a huge sound. A spring halfway up the mountain got its name because of its sound. The water spewing out from the bottom is blocked by a huge rock, making a sound as the beating of war drums and gaining the name of Drag-Beating Spring. Now, let's consider 2 questions. How did these springs form, and why are there so many springs here? A spring may come into being in one of 2 ways. The first way is related to water on the Earth's surface, which gradually permeates deep into the Earth's crust, heating as it does so. Where there is water, there is quite often gas, especially carbon dioxide. When the temperature of the carbon dioxide rises, the water attains high pressure and is finally released, where it meets a fracture or fault line. The second way has to do with volcanic eruptions. Even when a volcano becomes dormant or extinct, the interior of the surrounding Earth's crust still stores vast thermal energy. Water in the neighboring rock heats up, and when the pressure reaches its highest point, water pours out of the rock onto the Earth's surface. The springs in Tengchong were formed in this way. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the collision between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate led to the intensive movement of magma. As of today, there are still 2 magma regions between 10 and 30 kilometers in diameter and 7 to 25 kilometers in depth. The constant release of thermal energy has resulted in wide distribution of hot springs in Tengchong. Favorable geographical and climate conditions have helped to form the uniquely enchanting natural scenery of Tengchong. The Hot Sea Scenic Area is a famous tourist destination well worth visiting and has earned the titles of National Scenic Spot, National Geopark, and Provincial Level Tourist Resort, as well as being named a 5A National Tourist Attraction. Some of you may be wondering, Given the wide distribution of hot springs in Tengchong, do we have reason to expect a sudden volcanic eruptions here? No need to worry. These volcanoes are no longer active, and rather than being something to fear, they are instead admired for the contribution to the beauty of the Tengchong landscape. Okay, thanks for listening. See you next time.
这里是课程中的关键词汇，同学们别忘了，这也是知识点。